Hey, I'm Michelle Smart. I'm an enrolled agent. I'm trying to keep you updated on the ever changing, long and winding road of the employee retention tax credit. Please give me a like so that we can draw more people to this channel so they can keep updated on what's going on with the employee retention tax credit. Well, today is September the 18th, 2024, and a new bill has been introduced to another kill bill to kill the ERC. Now, previously we had the Taxpayers Relief for American Families Act of 2024, and as you recall, that was passed in the House January 31st, 2024. It failed twice to pass in the Senate and never became law. That particular bill, I believe it was 7024, HR 7024, and that bill was to give additional child tax credit, to give additional bonus depreciation, and pay for it by ending the employee retention tax credit early. It's a little late to go back to 2023, so now they have introduced basically a standalone bill to kill the ERC early. And the date, January 31st, 2024. So let's just take a look. Here's the article. Again, making a demon out of this bill just because it was mishandled by the IRS. Um, everybody's fraudulent, according to them. Okay, it cost a lot of money in this article, and so this bill was was introduced. Let's take a look at this bill. So this is basically the repealing of the, here we go, it's called the act may be cited as the ERTC Repeal Act of 2024. Essentially, this is giving all kinds of penalties to the what they want to define as the promoters of the ERC, and those are what we call the mills. And there were many articles back in 2021. The AICPA had asked the IRS multiple times to go after the mills, and the mills, of course, were telling everyone that everyone qualified for the ERC. It's free money, come and get it. And there was a lot of fraud, and it's completely mind-boggling to me how that fraud happened because um, the people who got most of the money in the fraud in the beginning never filed a 941. They were all new businesses that were made up just for the purposes of claiming the employee retention tax credit. So these guys never even paid payroll taxes. It was an easy check. Some of these things were an easy check if they had had something implemented to make sure that fraud didn't occur. But basically, this bill has support from both sides. If that happens and you filed after January 31st, 2024, you may be out of luck, but we don't know. We'll just have to see what happens here. I would encourage everyone to call their representative and let them know they are small business owners out here who are hanging on by a thread, and we need these refunds. And stop just trying to spending all this energy to fix what they broke, what they didn't handle in 2020 and 2021, and making and delaying the refunds to the taxpayer is just, to me, it's outrageous. Um, but that's where all their focus and all their energy is. And as somebody commented, I had mentioned that they were going, I had said that they were sending out disallowance letters randomly, and particularly they were focusing on third quarter 2021. And the reason, of course, is that most of the suspension rules were over by third quarter 2021. However, many people qualified according to the reduction in gross receipts or by being a recovery startup business. And those were both allowable reasons. There were even some suspensions ongoing third quarter of 2021 in California. So there were some suspension rules, very few that were still in existence at that time. But anyway, that's the reason I'd mentioned it in previous videos. And so I will mention that again. That's why third quarter 2021 has been targeted. So thank you for that comment. Um, So keep your eyes out for those disallowance letters, and you should go back to the person who prepared. They should have the information on how to file the appeal, or you can rewatch my video on, there's two videos on an appeal, how to write the appeal letter. If you get a disallowance letter on the ERC, one is in a little bit more detail. So just take a look at those. I'm sure that you can handle it. So elsewhere, there again, are more lawsuits against the IRS for non-payment of the employee retention tax credit. These people, I believe, this is Riley Decker. I'll leave a link to this one, basically versus the IRS. And while everyone's having to file lawsuits to get paid, these guys filed, I believe, in June of 2023, and they haven't been paid yet. So they're filing a lawsuit basically saying we qualify, it's a law, you got to pay us, and it hasn't happened. So this is what it's coming down to. Now, another thing that I had suggested in a previous video was the taxpayer advocacy group. So that is IRS. If you go to irs.gov, there's form 911, and that's to get a taxpayer advocate when you're having a problem with things such as a refund. So the taxpayer advocacy group is not accepting a lot of applications to try to get the ERC for people. And I asked some other accountants if they were seeing much success with it. And one of them said, yeah, we filed the form 911 taxpayer advocacy and they turned around and got audited. So this, like these people are dying for the money and now you're going to audit them. So anyway, these letters of disallowance, it's just odd to me that they created these because the IRS has no basis for that disallowance other than the obvious fact if you didn't have employees, which they know if you filed 941, if you filed that quarterly form, then you had employees. So that was an easy check. They should have done that in the beginning. But they don't know if you had a gross receipts reductions, and they don't know if you were partially suspended. There's no way they know that. It's not on Form 941X. So these disallowance letters have no basis to, there's no credible evidence. The tax professionals have been saying over, they have been disagreeing with Werfel, who came out and made this statement, something like 70 to 80% of all of these claims were fraudulent. And we're saying, hey, you're talking to numbers, people. We know that you can't know that. We know that. You guys had 1.4 million unprocessed claims. How can you say that 70 to 80% are fraudulent? There's no basis. Even if you looked at every form, you don't know that until you have an audit. And so basically these disallowance letters are like, prove to us that it's like an audit. It's a pre-audit. It's a pre-audit before we give you the money. Now, some of these are coming after. They're coming after you've already got your money. So be sure to open your mail from the IRS. Make sure you have your proper addresses on file because you have to respond to these letters. So if you have any comments or questions, please put them below and I'll try to read those. And thank you for watching. Please click like so that we can get more people to this website. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michelle Smart. I'm an enrolled agent.